for several reasons. One big one is just extra practice. We do not have the time in our classrooms to let kids practice to their fullest. And so that when we send something home, it's never going to be something that you have to teach your child. So if they try that with you, you call them on it. Okay, you say, no, we know. We went to that parent meeting. We know that your teacher has gone over this. Now, they may not fully understand it, but the math homework they brought home this week, they should have brought home their math journals with them that have examples of the homework questions that we've worked in class. So that's available to them. Don't ever feel like you have to be up till all hours of the night doing homework. That's not the intention of it. Another reason that we give homework is for some accountability and some responsibility. They will have homework at middle school next year, and they'll have a whole lot more than you'll see this year. So we need to start helping them to become accountable and responsible for that process. And a lot of what we do in 5th grade is we are trying to get your child ready for that next step. One thing that we ask them to do is to read for 20 minutes every night. That's one of the homeworks that we have in their planners. And research shows that kids who read 20 minutes every night make the most gain throughout the year. So that's where that number comes from. It is a research-based number that we have. Most of our kids in 5th grade are perfectly fine reading silently on their own. There are some who are still working with fluency, and fluency is just the flow of words as they read. It should sound very much like conversation, no awkward pauses, and things like that. So you may have some kiddos that do still need to read out loud. You may have some kids that are more comfortable reading out loud. If they have younger brothers or sisters, that's a great opportunity for them to get their reading in. We don't assign what they have to read. We want it to be an enjoyable experience for them. So if a magazine is what catches their attention and they want to read a magazine for 20 minutes, that's perfectly okay. We just want them reading. That's the most important part of that. Another thing that will happen on a weekly basis is they'll have spelling words. Our spelling program is a spiraling program, so you may see some words on their spelling list and think, I think we might have had these last year. You probably did, and you'll probably see them more than one time this year. It's based on high frequency words that they're going to see the most in their reading and use the most in their writing, and so you're going to see some words over and over again, and that's okay. 5 new words is all that will be on that list each week. So it's not a great deal for them to learn, but we do want you to make sure that they are spending a little bit of time each week doing some studying of those spelling words. Ms. Ganon puts them on her blog on Friday night, so if you have a child who maybe is struggling in that area, you have access to the words the Friday before they're given to students on that Monday. So her blog is a great resource for that. The students will get the words every Monday, and the spelling test is given on Thursday. So they've got some time to go over and learn those 5 new words. If they have some words that they struggled with the week before, then certainly make sure that they go over those as well. Another weekly homework will be math. They got their first math homework assignment today, and we will always give them more than one day to get that done. We realize that in the busy lives that we lead today, if we give homework on Monday night, maybe Monday night is your most busy night of the week, and you've got piano lessons, and you've got soccer practice, and you've just got 4 or 5 things every Monday night. So we will not say, here's your homework, bring it back tomorrow. They'll always have more than one day. This week they actually have until Friday to complete that homework. Always check the planner. That's the best resource for homework information and when things are due. We always put in the planner when it's due. That may vary. Now, there might be an occasion when Ms. Smith is working through problem solving with the kids, and she may give them something to think about that night and want them to have something to talk about the next day in class. It wouldn't be like a lengthy assignment. They might not even be able to come up with the exact right answer that night, but it's something to get them thinking so that when she starts class the next day, they've already kind of got that thought process going in that problem-solving direction that she would like them to have. So that's a possibility too. But again, check planners. Planners are going to be your best resource for homework information. This year, reading, science, and social studies will be homework as needed. It won't be a weekly thing. Just as we come across, getting into various areas of our subject matter, there may be some times that they do have a little bit of that. A lot of times it might be corrections, things that they have an opportunity to try again on. and will help bring their grade up. So again, I know for this week, today we put in, they have a science correction possibly that they is due tomorrow, and reading corrections for Thursday. So always check your planner. If you go home tonight and there's nothing in the planner, it doesn't mean your child didn't do what they were supposed to. It's a possibility there weren't any corrections to make. So those planners are a really important source of information and a great source of communication back and forth between school and home. Homework is never for a grade. So, if your kid's struggling and you think, oh my gosh, I've got to get this done, and helping them too much really is going to harm them in the long run, because that homework and that extra practice, if they don't understand, we need to know that. We need to know that we need to go back over that with them before we take that quiz, and it does become a grade. So it's always okay for them to come back in and say, you know what, I tried this last night, my mom tried to help me, and I know math has changed. Math has changed a lot since I was in school. It's fine for them to come in and say, I just am struggling with this. Can you help me go over that again? That would be a better solution than for you to help them too much. And I know as parents, sometimes that's the easier route to go, just help them and get it over with. But really, in the long run, it will harm them more than help. So never feel like you can't have them come to school and say, I just didn't get this one. Can you help me with it? We would much rather go over it with them in class so that they're ready for when it does become a graded situation so that they can do their best.